I'm a rule breaker and I'm a risk taker. I've paid dues for both of those behaviors, but I've also had successes. And one of those successes is the Lighthouse. How would you like to have experienced your education in a learning environment where you had more choice and the pathways you pursued to understand came from you? I designed and developed the Lighthouse Program 12 years ago. It was grounded in the belief that all children have an insatiable appetite to understand their world. This played out in my own kids. I'd come home in the evening, walked into our house, and I'd have something in my hand, and the first thing they would shout out would be, "Let me see that." I learned that that's not what they really meant. They wanted to hold it. They wanted to shake it. They wanted to rub it against their cheek. They wanted to smell it. They wanted to listen to it, and they wanted to lick it. This insatiable appetite to understand their world was who they were, and most kids have that desire. Yet our schools today, grounded in compliance, silence that yearning. When the Lighthouse Program opened, we opened in a high school. And what it looked like then and what it looks like today is considerably different. How could we have known that Mara would need to do cartwheels down the hallway to help her solve math problems? And how could I have imagined that Robbie would whip through 4 levels of mathematics in 2 months and his textbooks would no longer meet his needs? And how could we respond to Simon, who came to me with this proposal, and he said, "This is going to take me a whole year, but I'm going to investigate the fishing industry on Lake Superior"? I was a bit surprised and confused. The Lighthouse Program is located, as I said, in a high school. And when we opened our doors, we were confused. But over time, we started making changes. We dissolved the lines between grade levels because it made better sense to refer to them by age groups. We opened the door for more choice, or the illusion of choice, in our core learnings. Our teachers became facilitators of the learning. And we dissolved the lines between disciplines so we could focus on inquiry learning. And we learned a great deal very quickly. Our kids consistently surprised us. Over time, we started seeing extraordinary work from our young students. Because our teacher facilitators were guiding the inquiries and critical feedback became an element of the whole process, they continued to grow in their capacity to produce extraordinary work. Andy was wrapped up in programming code. He wanted to craft language that was going to improve character movement in gaming. None of us knew what he was doing, so we posted it on an online blog, and in 2 days received over 100 lines of feedback from programmers who said, "This is good stuff." Salah was all wrapped up in fracking, something few of us knew. But he had an opportunity to interview homeowners that were affected by that mining practice. And his final performance was an extraordinary piece of work. The Lighthouse Program is now the Lighthouse School, which was a big change for us. But over time, we began to understand a lot more about how kids were going to learn and how we were going to nurture this insatiable appetite. If you went into that high school hallway, you would see the teacher facilitators moving from room to room. They'd be working in the hallways. You'd see kids sitting in the hallway. They might be reading. They might be composing. They might be writing. Or they might be meeting, or they might be doing cartwheels, which is always a surprise to parents who visit us. Elements of the Lighthouse program can be replicated. While we targeted gifted learners when we opened our doors, we soon discovered there were many more students who had this, who would thrive in this environment where choice took precedence and the teacher facilitators guiding the inquiries would take what the students learned and make it fit the system. We listened to the kids, and we reignited that insatiable appetite to learn. Thank you.
Thank you.